For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy FC24 coins, check out mmoexp.com. Link is down in the description below. Use the code WOLF at a checkout for 5% off your order. In the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, I think it is quite possibly the most overpowered in terms of like attacking style formation anywhere on FC24. I really like the fact that in this set of custom tactics that I'm going to show you, my left back will provide us a lot of attacking support on the left hand side. My right back will kind of play as like an inverted fullback, so we do defend in a back three. My right central midfielder will have a lot more license to get forward because our right back is staying back while attacking, and then our left central midfielder will kind of just play in that left central midfield position. So you are going to want to use balanced on the defensive style, like I say in all of my videos. YouTube always have done and always will do now, probably until the end of FC24, because every single patch that EA have done, I feel like they are nerfing the pressure tactics into the ground. Press after possession loss is good, but if you use it from minute one, your players will be dead by half time. Pressure on heavy touch again is also good, but I really do think they have nerfed it a lot on this latest patch. And if you do use it again, like with the press after possession loss from minute one in the game, your players will be absolutely knackered by the time we're even looking at half time, but definitely by the 60th minute. So that's why I much prefer a balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. I just like that, YouTube. I really do. Now, the defensive width, I've actually said this a lot over my more recent videos since the latest patch dropped this week. If any of you don't know what the latest patch has done, it's kind of nerfed the byline meta a little bit. I would say it's nerfed it down probably from like 100% to like 50%, which does mean that we can afford to be very narrow, and something I feel we do need to be with our defensive width is quite narrow, because if our opponent does use the byline against us, the chances are it's not going to come to a goal like it would have pre-patch. So on the defensive width in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, it's quite a narrow formation anyway, so I don't actually go as narrow in the defensive width as probably what you might think. I only take it down to 44 in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So yes, we only go down to 44, basically just making us more defensively solid in the middle of the pitch. My whole back four in general is closer together, which means we are harder to break down, and if my opponent, like I said, does want to go down the byline, chances are we won't concede a goal from it like we would have pre-patch. So that's why I've kind of gone with a little bit more narrow on the defensive width. The defensive depth, like I've said recently a lot, you do have two options. Option number one is the option that I use and I think is the best option to use. A, if you're on new gen, and B, if you are a good, well, not even good defender, if you can just competently defend, and that is the 71 depth. Yes, 71 depth is back. If any of you don't know what the 71 depth does, when we lose the ball, our team will automatically press and automatically offside trap for us. But like I said at the start of the video, with a pressure on heavy touch and a press after possession loss, our players' staminas don't get drained when we use it. It's why it is so broken and so overpowered, and it's why I absolutely love it. But there is another option, and option number two, or option B, is definitely if you are playing on old gen, or if, well, or you are playing on new gen but you struggle defensively, I would actually recommend 55 on the defensive depth with the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. It is an amazing formation, but we do need to get it right defensively, so that's why I wouldn't go a little bit too aggressive if you do struggle defensively. But for me, it is of course the 71 depth. The offensive builder, play and chance creation, I'm going to spend 0 seconds on this. Well, I'm going to spend like 5 seconds on it. It's balance of diet passing, your absolute bread and butter. It's the most broken thing you can use, so I'm going to use it, and I would be lying to you if I told you to use something different, because that is the most broken thing you can use. Believe me, I'm not making it up. The offensive width, I do actually leave it on 50 in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Yes, I don't touch it. Basically, the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow is a narrow formation anyway, so I don't really feel the need to change the offensive width with that. We do have one of the fullbacks helping us out in the attacking side of the game anyway, so that's why I just leave it on 50. Players in the box though, you know what I'm going to say at this point, YouTube. It is of course 7. The more players that we have in the box, the more likely we are to score a goal. It's very simple when you break it down like that. But if you do struggle defensively, maybe take it down from 7 to 6 or even 6 to 5. But 5 for me, I just like to be a little bit more attack minded in my custom tactics and the way I play FIFA, so that's why I always go with 7. 2 corners and 2 free kicks like so. Custom tactics done. Let's get into the player instructions. Now, you already know, YouTube, if you've ever watched the Connor Woolf custom tactics video, you know what both my strikers, or at least one of my strikers, is going to be on before you've even pressed on this video. Now, there's 2 key things that I think are the most broken meta and overpowered things to use on FC24 when you have strikers or a striker. Now, one of them is definitely the one to use, and that is stay central. So I have both my strikers on stay central. The other one one is up for a debate. I much prefer having both of my strikers, so my left-sided striker and my right-sided striker. I much prefer having both of them on getting behind as well. So both my left-sided striker and my right-sided striker are on stay central and getting behind, especially because of what we have one of our fullbacks on. I want both my strikers to stay in them central areas of the pitch. I'm not interested in them venturing out wide. I actually need them to be in the middle of the pitch, and they're getting behind. I love having both of them on. I want both my strikers making penetrating runs in behind. I totally understand though, especially in a two-striker formation, if you don't want both strikers on getting behind. If that is you, and I'm talking to you right now, maybe I am, I don't know. If that is you, I would recommend putting the slower striker on mixed attack, just so that sometimes they make runs in behind, but other times they won't. I do prefer having both of them on getting behind though, YouTube. And the reason being why I enjoy having both my strikers on getting behind is because it does leave a lot of room for our cam to operate in. Because if you think about it, as our strikers are making penetrating runs in behind, our opponent has to mark that with his defenders, so we will drag the defenders to track the runs, because if not, we will just be in on goal, right? That then creates a nice big amount of space in that number 10 position, where in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow we have a cam, and the cam is on stay forward and get into the box for cross. You can put the cam on come back on defence to like defend either left midfielder or right midfielder of a 4-4-2. I don't like to do that in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, YouTube. I really don't. I much prefer having my cam on stay forward and the get into the box for cross. Pretty self-explanatory. I want my cam to be involved in the attacking phase and in the box as much as possible. That means that he or she will get a lot of goals and a lot of assists for you, believe me. You will notice in the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, your cam will get a lot of GA in the game, believe me. Now, the left centre mid is actually on completely default settings apart from cover centre. So balanced attack, balanced crossing runs, normal interceptions, stick to position and cover centre. This just means that our left central midfielder will have license to attack, but he won't get forward 100% of the time, kind of like 50-60% of the time. And the balanced crossing runs means that sometimes you will run into the penalty area and sometimes stay on the edge of the box for cross. And then our right central midfielder is the one that does have the more license to attack. So get forward, get into the box for cross and cover centre, and you will see why, because of what I have my left back on, why I have my right central midfielder being the one that attacks a lot more, gets forward and gets into the box for cross. The CDM, think of this player, like I say in all my videos, a traditional number 6, a Rodri, Boubacar Kamara, these type of players. That is that CDM. So stay back while attacking and cover centre. That CDM will just win the ball back, give it to the better players, operate in that kind of like half-back anchor role, deep line playmaker role, whatever words, fancy word, tactico word you want to use. That is that CDM. Now, the left back is the reason that I have my right central midfielder on get forward and not my left central midfielder. So my left back is the one that is on join the attack and overlap. So as my left back is bombing on down that right hand side, we don't want our left central midfielder bombing on down that left hand side, because then he will just pick up the exact same positions that our left back is picking up and it just wouldn't work. It would just be kind of like pointless to use it. And then our right central midfielder will have a lot more license to get forward, because the left back is the one that is on join the attack and overlap. Both my centre backs are on completely default settings, so stay back while attacking, normal interceptions and stick to position. And then my right back will kind of play like an inverted fullback, so stay back while attacking. And that again is why my right central midfielder is the one that I use to get forward a lot more, because he does have the right back staying back while attacking behind him, which means he can get forward a lot more than he wouldn't if the left back was on join the attack and overlap. You know what I mean? I kind of just confused myself there. But last but not least, goalkeeper comes to crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there is my brand new updated 4-1-2-1-2 narrow custom tactics for you. If you did enjoy this video, you know what to do, YouTube. Drop it a like for me. And if you could hit that subscribe button to my channel, that would mean the world to me. Thank you for watching. Remember, YouTube, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive male attitude. Peace out. One love.